Hey guys, Kurt here with NK Garage, and it's really raining outside today. It's pretty bad. We got a lot of water. There's flooding everywhere, and it's definitely not a good day for outdoor work, especially, for our landscaping business. So we're gonna go buy some tools because that's what we do when we can't do our regular job. So we found a guy.
We got a lead.
We found him on Facebook. Nick didn't realize that he wasn't searching locally, and he's, 3 hours away?
About 3 hours away in Binghamton, New York.
So we're going to go check him out. Looks like he does a lot of tool hauls, and basically he's thinning out all of his extras, his seconds, his thirds, fourths, copies of stuff. So he's got a lot of good stuff, and he wants to thin it out and just get rid of it. So we're going to go check it out. We're going to make a deal, and we're going to come back with some tools.
Yeah, Kurt's got a big wad of money burning a hole in his pocket, so I think he wants to spend some of that.
Yeah, I mean, we got some cash.
Got some cash, and Kurt wants to turn that cash into tools. Let's do it.
Let's buy some tools. All right, guys, so we went and we bought some tools, and they're in the back seat here. We got half to 3/4 of a gray bin full and a little bit in the blue bin. We didn't buy a lot of stuff. It wasn't a huge haul, which isn't bad. There's a lot of Mac in here, a lot of Mac tools, and a good amount of Cornwell. So we definitely are paying a higher price per tool. We think we got probably 300 pieces, and we paid $600, so that's $2 a tool. Does that sound about right, Nick?
That's exactly what it is, I think.
All right, and you wanted to show the viewers what you got there?
I'm holding one of the ones that I immediately saw that I like. This is a Cornwell 1/4 inch. It's got a 1/4 inch square drive on top, and a 1/4 inch just hole for like a bit on the bottom. I think this is gonna go right in the toolbox at home.
All right, yeah, and there's gonna be plenty more that we'll show you later, so stay tuned and we'll get it all laid out in the garage for you. Hello there. Hey guys, just Kurt here again, playing with tools, admiring today's haul. Not a lot of stuff compared to what we normally get. We normally pull in some pretty large hauls, but we kind of just made this one happen today. We didn't get a good deal. We did okay, but we didn't get a great deal like we usually do. We just kind of really were feeling the tools. So we took what we could get. And this is what we got here. Got a little bit more than one table full. And, there's some reputable brands here. Basically, the guy has a garage. He's a mechanic. This is from his home garage, and he really likes to go out and buy used tools, just like I do, and many of you guys like to do. And he's just letting go of some stuff that he doesn't need in his shop because it's either doubles, triples, quadruples, or stuff that he doesn't use, like this Wizard torque wrench. Kind of cool. Nice old, vintage tool, but not something that he would use in his regular day. So let's take a look and let's see what we got. All right, we'll start off here with the speed cranks. And this is something he was pretty happy to dump all of his speed cranks. He doesn't use them. We don't really use them much here either, but I think they're kind of cool. And they make interesting items to put on our eBay store. First one off is a snap-on, the F-4-L. And nice vintage, decent condition. Given its age, there's definitely some wear in the chrome. Then we got a Proto 5480. It's a 1/2 inch drive speed crank. Next one up is an SK 3/8 drive. Then we have a Walden's 1/4 inch drive, and then we have a 1/2 inch drive SK. The SKs are probably in the best condition out of all of them. The snap-on looks like it probably has the most use, and the Walden's is probably the most interesting one, if you're looking for odd brands. Up here we got some pliers. We got a Mac Tools tongue and groove plier. He plasti dipped these two himself. There's Miller Fall slip joint pliers and Proto slip joint pliers. We've got a KD spark plug boot puller. Then these are made in Japan. It looks like some kind of special crimping pliers, so I figured why not. Sometimes you just take a gamble on that kind of stuff. Got a small pair. These were called micro nippers. They're just very little, tweezer style, cutting pliers. Got a Klein diagonal cutting pliers here. This one's a Boker needle nose plier. There's another Klein pliers here. This one here is made in USA. It's an Ideal lineman's pliers. And this one was interesting. Made by CT Co. in Jamestown, New York. That's the same place where Crescent tools are from, so I'm wondering if there was some kind of association with each other at that point. This somehow snuck in. It's just a cheap Taiwan 1/4-inch drive spinner. We have a KD brand, the flexible bit driver for your hex bits. Got 3 more 1/4-inch drive spinners here. This one down here is an old vintage Mac. This one is a stubby Craftsman. And this one here is another Walden's tool. 3 Phillips number 2s by Mac. We got a Stanley 100 plus screwdriver, Phillips number 4. This one's going to be a nice addition to our tool cart. And we got a medium to large Mac pry bar. That might also go on the tool cart. We've got 5 SK Tools and SK Waynes green and white screwdrivers. They're not in the best shape, but I kind of have a soft spot for SK Tools, so I kind of wanted to pick them up. They're definitely used, and some of them might be a little bit abused, but I guess there's still some life left in them. Got a Craftsman pocket socket adjustable wrench. This is one of Nick's favorites. It's a Cornwell 1/4-inch driver with the flex head and locking tabs. Put it in any position you want. 1/4-inch with the thumb wheel. And on the other side it has the bit driver, so you can use those as well. Same thing with the locking tab flex head. Over here, I missed this for a second. It's a Craftsman push drill, and this is a nice vintage antique tool. All the bits are in the handle. You just push the button down and you turn, and the bits will fall out. If you're in one with a bit, you would put that in the end and you push to drill. Nice tool, just there's one bit missing, and that's because they fall out of the end if you're not careful enough to watch out for that. Over here we have a Mac Tools Dead Blow ball peen hammer. I think that's another one we're going to be keeping. We got that Wizard torque wrench I showed before. Got a couple of ratchets and breaker bars here. Got a Craftsman older V-Series. A little bit beat, but it's okay. Craftsman 1/4-inch with the quick release and the oil. And it has the patent on the back. Nice V-Series 1/4-inch ratchet. This one here is a Duralast, but actually of decent quality. Not a bad tool. And then we have 2 small 1/4-inch breaker bars, one by Husky and another one Craftsman with the underline logo and the circle H. Moving on to wrenches, we have tons of SK wrenches in here. We got everything from combination wrenches, we have some ratcheting wrenches, this one here is an adjustable wrench, and we got some box wrenches up at top. These were all included in kind of like a bulk deal that we had put together, so those kind of all came package deal. Over here is a bunch of Mac wrenches. We have everything from these line wrenches to these obstruction wrench style. There's combination wrenches, double box wrenches, and then up at the top, that's where we start to transition into the Craftsman stuff. These I pulled out separately. There's some older Flying V-Series double box wrenches. These are nice tools, definitely really cool vintage stuff and collector's items, as well as these 2 Craftsman tappet wrenches. Over here, we have a Craftsman metric set. These are all USA made V-Series from 6mm up to 24mm, and the only one that is not included was 23. But that's pretty good because that's a very odd size and usually not included in most people's sets. Down here we have a Proto Los Angeles adjustable wrench. Definitely could use some TLC. And at some point somebody blocked off the hole where you would hang it. Not really sure why, but we'll clean that one up, and that will probably be a knockaround wrench for us. This was a Industro, but I picked it up because it's the 18 and the 20 double box wrench. I thought that was cool. We have another Proto double box wrench here, and some various Cornwell wrenches down here. Going over to some sockets, we have 1/2-inch drive Mac impact sockets. These are all SAE. There are doubles in here. It looks like it's 2 sets plus or minus a couple pieces. So I think I can definitely put a nice SAE set together. They're definitely used, some of them are beat, but I think I can put a usable shallow SAE set together. So we'll be doing that, and the rest will go on our eBay store if they're still in usable condition. Then we have a couple of miscellaneous Mac sockets. Most of these are impact, one chrome, just various pieces, not really much of a set. Got a nice little Mac tray here with some hex bits, and there is one missing. There are various almost sets, as I guess I'll call them. This one here is, the 7mm here. So some of them I think are just disorganized, because I was looking before, and over here we have the metric, but we were missing, we're missing the 8mm, and I'm not sure if it's on here. So maybe these are doubles, because there's a couple extra 7, 6, 9. So these are extras. This is a metric set minus 8mm from 5.5 up to 14. Then we have 1/4-inch SAE. I haven't checked to see what sizes are or aren't here, but it's kind of like most of a set, plus some other various pieces. And then we have the 1/4-inch metric Mac sockets, and we're missing one obviously here. That would be the 7mm shallow. And then we have various Torque sockets, all by Mac. So some of these we'll be putting together, see if we can get a set, throw some Torque sockets in our new tool cart, try to figure something out. Otherwise, these will be individual on our eBay store for those that are also trying to put sets together. Got 4 different Mac Crows wrenches. It's not enough of a set for me to hold on to it. They're all SAE, so I think those will also be on our eBay store if anybody's looking for individual pieces. Over here, this was something that was in the bulk lot that he had offered to us, so it was just kind of something that we picked up, even though I normally wouldn't pick a used set of hole saws up, because as you can see, some of them are quite used and beat up. So, and we tend to get enough of them that we don't need some of the extra pieces. So that might just eventually end up in a bulk lot on an eBay auction. Maybe somebody would like to use it to put their pieces in this case. Who knows? Moving on, we got various sockets. We got a couple Proto sockets here. There's one little Craftsman socket here. 2 snap-on sockets, 1 Blue Point, a bunch of flex sockets and universal adapters. These are Craftsman. There's 2 SK, and this one's a Cornwell. There's 1 Williams and 1 Craftsman. These are all various Mac sockets. We've got the special weatherhead sockets. We got Torque sockets, impact sockets, all different various pieces. Probably we'll all just get those onto our eBay store. Cornwell sockets as well, various pieces. They just came in the bulk lot, so we took them. We've got a few extensions here. My favorite would be this 24-inch Mac extension with the locking tab. And this is something that I don't know if I'll actually ever even use, but if I wanted something nice and sturdy and make sure that I'm not going to lose my 10mm socket in the depths of my motor vehicle, then I'm going to make sure it's locked on there, and I'm going to make sure that I'm, got nice tight control. So that can be a lot better than putting a bunch of little 1/4-inch together and hoping that you don't lose your socket with all that wiggle and wobble. These also are extensions. I like these knurled grip ones, so I think I'll be keeping those. Those are both 4-inch, and this one is not knurled as a 6-inch. We have this Mac 3-inch extension. It's actually in pretty nice shape. There's a 10-inch or 12-inch Mac, I think it's a 12, impact grade. We got this 6-inch Craftsman for half-inch drive. Here is maybe a 15-inch. It says 16 on there, so I'm going to go with 16-inch, 3-inch drive Mac extension, and of course an 8-inch Flex Proto extension. If you've watched our toolbox tour, you'll see we have one of these just in case, but don't rely on this to do anything heavy duty. This is more for just a little bit of flex and getting a nut started. We got this, came with the lot, Mac Tools right angle grease gun adapter. We've got a KD 27 by 32 millimeter wrench. If you watch some of our KD hauls, you'll see some of these come in the new packages. I believe these are meant for Volkswagens, older vintage tools back before everybody had metric in their kits. This is a Cornwell Tools half-inch drive obstruction wrench, 1 3/8 inch. That's something I don't think I need, so that'll also be on our eBay store.
You running the numbers?
Yeah. You know, Guys, I don't think we're going to make out too well on this, but in no way did we do bad on this. But I figured we'll let you guys know. I know you guys are very interested on how the tools work out with the money. So, we paid $600 for the tools. We did a $500 tool lot that was advertised. And then I picked out some extras, like the Craftsman wrench set was $50, and then he did $50 on a couple extra pieces that I had pulled out as well. Then we drove a lot to get this tool out.
About 6 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours each way. Which is a horrible rainy day here. We had nothing else to do, so we decided let's go find something, and this is what was available where we could sign something up for middle of the day on a Monday. So we spent $130 in diesel, and we spent $29 on lunch. So we're up to $759, and we have 302 tools here. We do not include the garbage in that because, like I said, expect that you're going to get a certain percentage of waste, and I don't pay for waste. So calculation comes out to $2.51 a tool. And for stuff like this, I mean, normally when I do big lots, I will pay $2 for a piece of snap-on, sometimes for a snap-on socket, even, one of these SAE sockets, if it's in really good shape. But if it's one of these older ones, $1. Craftsman stuff, usually about $1. Mac, $1, $2, depending on what it is. Like line wrench is really nice, but the stuff that's rusty, crusty, people had drawn on it, usually less. So the $2.51 is definitely higher than we expected to pay. The guy kind of pulled a sneaky one on us in the pictures. There was a bunch of nice ratchets, including a couple Mac and Snap-on ratchets. And then we get there, and it's very dim lit in his garage, and we look at the tool lot, and I saw most of what was there in the pictures, and he started loading it up in our bins while I was shopping for other stuff. Then we went home and found out they weren't there. And here we are, 3 hours away from there, and it is what it is. I'm not going to cry about it, but definitely make sure you don't get screwed over, guys. So, I mean, I got his nice big hammer. I can go knock down his door, but I don't think I will. I'm not going to bother. But those are the numbers. $2.51 a tool. It's not bad. I mean, if you go in the store and you want to buy a nice pair of Klein pliers, it's $20. You want to go on the Snap-on truck? You want to go on the Mac truck? Oh, I'm sure this is $40, $50 maybe. I have no idea. Impact sockets. Yeah, they're up there. Hundreds of bucks. So, we did okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching this video today, and keep on checking them out. Check out Nick on his channel as well. He's the landscape and mini excavation professional and expert. And if you like Kubotas and you want to learn more about tilt rotators, I don't know if anybody knows what a tilt rotator is, but if you're into excavators, you might be into it. So check him out. He's got a tilt rotator on his excavator, and it's a game-changing kind of thing. So check it out. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.